All right. The big news this week on the Anthropic front, Jason, is that the company has tapped Google for an enormous compute purchase. They're going to get up to 1 million of Google's TPUs in a deal worth up to tens of billions of dollars. And it's going to bring on more than a gigawatt of capacity to the company in 2026. Now, reading this news, I know a lot of folks out there might not know what a TPU is. So I went ahead and did a little prep work and asked producer Claude, what is that? Well, it's an ASIC, or an application specific integrated circuit, that is essentially designed just for these machine learning workloads. Basically, they're designed to do a lot of mathematical operations very, very quickly. And that's what powers the neural nets that we all love and know. And just for a little background here, they've been working on the TPU since I think 2013, something around there. So they've been in the game for a long time. And of course, if you want to use producer Claude like we do, you can go to it's anthropic.com/ sorry, I can read my own notes. If you want to use Claude like we do, you can go to claude.ai/twist to get started. We have a 50% discount for 3 months. But Jason, essentially Google TPUs are better. They're more efficient. They have lower costs, and they're tailored for this kind of work. But more to the point, I'm shocked that Anthropic is kind of putting aside its long-term deal with Amazon, its preferred partner for both training and inference, to go rack up with Google. I was curious what you thought about why they made this choice.
I think any compute advantage these large language models can get, they're going to take. What's fascinating about this one is that Gemini, Google, the Gemini large language model, Anthropic, and Claude, they're direct competitors. So this is perplexing, interesting, confounding, strange bedfellows.
Yeah.
If you're Anthropic and you're giving money and doing this partnership with Google, and you're both competing for customers, users, businesses, developers, and APIs, it's kind of interesting. And as we say in our industry, no conflict, no interest. What this signals to me is the Anthropic team and the Google team are collaborating. They're in like with each other. They might not be in love, but they're in like with each other. Who else is in like with each other? Satya Nadella and OpenAI were in love with each other. I think they've dropped down to in like with each other. And I noticed Satya Nadella and Elon are in like with each other. So, and NVIDIA is in love with everybody. Jensen loves everybody equally. But this is the place we are. The other thing I think is super interesting is amongst the LLM companies, some have money printing machines. I wonder if Google and Meta have a huge advantage in that they could start deploying hardware at a scale that the others cannot. Now, the others are the bells of the ball right now because they have the best product and people want to be on their cap table. And then this makes me wonder, why is Apple with their war chest and Microsoft with their war chest not participating in this lunacy of building out huge data centers, huge infrastructure? I guess Google is. I wonder if Meta is going to.
Too, but it's less speculative for them, Jason, because they talked about it in earnings and they've said, we just have the inference demand and we're just building against kind of like proven bookings. So with them, I'm not that concerned. But I think that the dichotomy between the money printers and the money needers is very important, because when you think about XAI and OpenAI, they are spending tens of billions of dollars on infra. Anthropic isn't. They're raising money from the major cloud companies. Amazon, I think 8 billion, Google about 3 billion, and they're getting access to compute. So I kind of wonder, and I don't want to sound too nice to anyone here, but like, is Anthropic kind of nailing this because they're not taking on the infra side quest?
Yeah, partnerships, I think, are a way to win here. If you want to go far, you go together. If you want to go fast, you go alone. So going alone, I think will give you a massive speed advantage in the short term. And I think building up partnerships could make you go further. Founders are constantly asking me, hey, where can I find my first customers? I need a customer. I'm talking about business to business advertising and marketing your product to other businesses. And to do that, the greatest place in the world, hands down, is LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn's advertising tools aren't just going to throw your message around to anybody clicking on random ads. No, these are not randos. You can pick decision makers based on the data that you know inside of LinkedIn works, the job title, the industry, how about the size of the company? Or maybe you're working on startups and you just want people in New York City and Miami because that's where your first 2 sales offices are. There's over 1 billion people on LinkedIn, and that includes 130 million decision makers and 10 million C-level executives. These are the big fish, right? These are the whales. Business-to-business marketers report 2.5 times higher returns on their ad spend on LinkedIn versus the other social platforms. Makes sense, right? So to start converting your B2B audience into high-quality leads and customers, we're going to give you a $100 credit towards your next campaign. That's how confident LinkedIn is that you're going to get value. They'll just give you the $100 to prove it to you. LinkedIn.com/thisweekinstartups, LinkedIn.com/thisweekinstartups, no spaces, no dashes to claim that hundy. LinkedIn.com/thisweekinstartups, terms and conditions do apply.